The Year I Did Nothing is a semi-autobiographical script, basically documenting what I did the year before we came to this country. After 12 years of waiting, we thought we were like packing the next day and we were moving, and then it turns out like there was more to be done.
10 taon para lang sabihin na natanggap nila yung application? Eh, ano bang akala nila? Sabik na sabik tayong pumunta sa Amerika.
So it was basically these 3 siblings convinced their parents to not enroll them in school because they were leaving anyway, so what's the point?
I'm a big fan of coming-of-age stories. The 80s was a really rich period for coming-of-age stories. Stories about teenagers going through specific moments that sort of change everything. I thought that's what she had. It was very unique because it was her story. It was connected to her past. It really is compelling because of the dynamics of these kids and how well Anna cast them and how well she directed them.
And at the same time, there was tension because it happened to be that point where the dictator is trying to keep his power by using his military to stop anyone from protesting against him.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos.
My countrymen, I wish to announce to each and everybody that all these propaganda lies that they are peddling, claiming that Malacanang has been overrun and that we have left the country, are completely without basis. We are going to do everything to settle this thing peacefully.
It was a tough thing because I wanted to leave that country so badly. I also felt even more patriotic to that country because I knew that the country was in crisis. It was tough.
This is the Philippines in the 1960s. It had a booming economy and was considered the second richest country in Asia. More and more kids were going to college, many for the first time. Enter my parents, Ricky and Lucy. They met and fell in love as freshmen at the University of Santo Tomas. That same year, Ferdinand Marcos was elected President of the Philippines. 2 years later, Lucy and Ricky tied the knot.
Overseas news, Ferdinand Marcos becomes the first president in the Philippines to win a second term.
The following year, I was born. That adorable baby is me, Christina.
Christina is in a limbo between wanting to go to America because this is like her dream. Like she's read every magazine that she could ever get her hands on.
Saan sa Amerika nakatira si Santa Claus?
Baka sa Hollywood. Doon yata nakatira yung mga celebrity.
At the same time, she's kind of torn when she realizes, I still love my country, you know? And so she's kind of like in between this.
In a movie, the Christina character represents me. So she's the oldest sister. She's the one coming up with these wacky schemes on how to make money, kill time.
The whole thing was like exactly how it was when I immigrated here. Because when I was young, like when I was 7, my family also immigrated from the Philippines to America. I feel like this girl is me in the 80s. I think she does grow a lot. She starts noticing that her dad is really hurt by what's happening.
There is a mutiny, military and civilian, against President Marcos and his government. The defense minister of the Philippines and the second in command of the army are holed up in a fort surrounded by friendly troops, demanding that Marcos resign.
When I read the script, I had goosebumps. I played the role of Ricky. He's very much invested in the Philippine politics. The hardship that the Filipino people were experiencing during the Marcos regime.
Yung mga MP, i-impeach na lang si Marcos.
Wala namang mangyayari sa kanya habang kontrolado niya yung buong gobyerno.
Alam nyo, ang swerte-swerte ninyo. Paalis na kayo sa Pilipinas. Hindi na ninyo problema to.
The people of the Philippines worked together to overthrow the government, which is the Marcos regime.
Tito Ricky, sabi ng radyo bandido na nandito pa rin sila Marcos. Hindi totoong umalis sila. Ano sa tingin mo mangyayari?
Ano pa? Hindi balik ulit sa dati ang Pilipinas.
Ganun na lang? Susuko na lang tayo?
What triggers this power movement was the assassination of Ninoy Aquino, which my character was a big fan. He's the only hope that the Philippines have for us to prosper. Di mo ba nadinig si Marcos? In-order niya ang militar na barilin ng mga nagpo-protesta. Marami lang mamamatay.
Para ano? Habang buhay si Marcos, hindi niya bibitawan ang pwesto niya. Magdidiktar na naman niya ng martial law. Sabihin mo sa mga kapatid mo, mag-epake na rin kayo.
I experienced this. I was in elementary school, so I've seen this. I've seen the struggle of the people.
I think we've taken for granted the immigrant story. I think there's a lot of misinformation about, you know, how people come here to this country and what their goals are and who they are and what they're about. We are just like everyone else. We want a better life.
No matter who you are, you have your story of how you came into the country. And this is just one of them, but we can all pick parts and relate to it. It's a story about people coming to America and being Americans.
You can't find a person, especially in this town, that didn't come here searching for a dream. The American dream or artistic aspirations. We all mostly come from somewhere else.
After screening this in front of other Filipino families, people were coming up to me going, that happened to me, that's exactly me. It didn't even become about my family, it became about almost every immigrant who experienced very closely what I experienced and lived the same life. It just happened to be my family that I based this on.
Everything that a film should have is in this one. You guys are gonna laugh, you guys are gonna cry, you guys are gonna be inspired, you guys are gonna dream, you guys are gonna celebrate.